hands together for Mr. Robert Hallman, everybody.
Thank you all. The first word Christy told me around 10 months ago is, Dad, when you speak, it's got to be short and sweet. So this is a welcoming little speech, but really it's all about Chris and Christy having everybody here. They all know you. And that was the main focus of both of them when they got engaged and wanted to start to plan this wedding. So that really meant a lot to them. So thank you for coming. Second of all, Yanato and Pat and Jamie and Ian and Dawn and I would really like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here. We had a beautiful day, and it's just going to get started, but that ceremony was spectacular. So we are very blessed to have great weather down here in December, and it all went off without a hitch. And then I'd like to just tell the quick story about how I met Chris, how Dawn and I met Chris. She called me up one day and said, Dad, I met a really nice guy. And I go, well, that's good. You should meet nice guys. That's the whole object. So she said, I'd like you and Dawn to come up to Tallahassee and meet him this weekend. So we made the track, 6-hour track up to Tallahassee. And we were at a restaurant having some adult beverages and dinner. And this one gentleman took me aside and said, Robert, we've already told Chris, a couple buddies have already told Chris that don't screw this one up. She's a good one. So for Yanato and Pat and Jamie and Ian and Dawn and I just want to say congratulations. You're a great guy. Christy, you know what I think about you, baby. I love you. I love you. You had me at that moment, man. So, but I just want everybody to have a blast. Dinner's coming up, and I'm supposed to hand this microphone to Lindsay.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because in fear of crying, Christy knows how anxious I've been about this, but how beautiful is this couple right here? I mean, come on. Christy is the only bride I've ever known to wait until the day of to reveal her dress. And I mean, we were nervous. We were like, how is she going to look? What is it going to look like? Anyways, thank you all for coming out and celebrating one of my favorite people. And Christy too, of course. My name is Lindsay, and Christy has not only been my best friend, but a sister of sorts since elementary school. I first met Christy when my family and I moved into the same neighborhood. And I'm sorry, Chris, but it was love at first sight. We just clicked instantly. I think mainly because she was so bossy and I was so chill. Yeah, opposites attract, right? On a serious note, this girl has been my rock. She is the friend I always turn to when I am down and need to talk. And without getting into too much detail, this past year or so has been filled with so much tragedy for the both of us. And I honestly, I don't know what I would do without her, so it brings me great comfort knowing that I have a friend like Christy to get through it with. If anyone deserves this fairy tale happily ever after, it's Christy. And I know. Where's the bar? And I know that Chris, being the amazing guy that he is, will give her everything she deserves and more. So cheers. Here's to the happy couple, okay? And now I'm going to hand it off to Shelby, the other maid of honor, okay?
Oh man, I promised I wasn't going to get emotional over there. But yes, thank you all for coming out and celebrating this amazing, wonderful couple that we have all just completely fallen in love with since we've seen them together. But for those of you who don't know me, I am the other maid of honor. And I am so thankful for Christy, and I am so thankful for the day that I met her. Her and I met in Fort Myers during our very, very awkward middle school years. As only two children trying to find their way, we thankfully found a few things in common, such as shopping, tennis, and the band Nickelback. Used to be cool. She soon became not only my best friend, but absolutely my sister. As we passed our awkward middle school years, we moved on to be much cooler in high school. Christy probably hasn't told you all about her first time drinking. I'm really sorry. I know, pretty laughing. We were 15, and I came over to spend the night when Robert and Jamie were out to dinner one night. Oh man. As we were upstairs talking about how cool we were, Christy had the wonderful thought of, I'm pretty sure Mom has margaritas downstairs. So of course, we go downstairs. We checked the fridge for a full inventory and found pure gold. Wine coolers. 6 wine coolers later, Christy remembers she also has the keys to her neighbor's golf cart. Snowbirds. So, what a great idea. Let's go. Christy gets in as the driver, as I sit next to her with a camera as the narrator. We decide to take the golf cart down all 18 holes, crossing all of the mini bridges and everything that it entailed. Going through all 18 holes was a night full of singing Jason Aldean at the top of our lungs, calling ex-boyfriends, doing donuts in the middle of the street, and unfortunately running over and killing a possum. May he rest in peace. A few weeks later, Jamie comes across our narrated video of us bragging about drinking her 6 wine coolers. Here it comes. Christy and I were thinking, are we going to be grounded? Are our cell phones going to be taken away? I'm thinking, are they calling my mom and dad? How far is this going to go? Nope. A simple laugh was all that our punishment entailed. We then learned the wine coolers were actually straight margarita mix with no alcohol. And we still feel bad for the possum. However, on a more serious note, another moment I distinctly remember is senior year of high school at Christy's graduation party. Everyone had left, and it was Jamie, Christy, and myself. As we're sitting there, a few gifts in, Jamie says, "Man, Shelby, this is training for Christy's wedding." And sure, we laughed at the time, and it seemed absolutely crazy to think about. And here we are. After that night, Christy and I, of course, went off to our different schools, her being in Tallahassee and myself being in Gainesville. Now, even though we were Seminoles and Gators, we still love each other dearly and always made an effort to stay in touch and, of course, visit whenever we were able to. One summer, Christy and I went out to dinner, and she decided to tell me about Chris. Now, mind you, I had heard all about Chris. Very entertaining date functions, and most specifically, the cruise. However, as she was telling me about Chris, she was absolutely beaming as she was describing this Chi-Phi lacrosse player who had completely stolen her heart, and she had never met anyone as caring and loving as Chris. When I met Chris, I truly feel like you had been around us for years. Everything was extremely natural, he fit right in with our friends, and I just thought, this is it. This is absolutely the one. Coming over to visit you both in Fort Lauderdale is something I continuously look forward to. You have built an incredible home and a truly caring, genuine relationship. Through these past 13 years, we have been through everything imaginable together, and I'm so, so thankful and proud to have been able to stand next to you. So with that, I wish you both a lifetime of happiness. We'll all come to visit all the time. And I can't wait to see what is truly to come, or what is still to come. Love you. And now, the best man, Jason.
So, before I begin, I just want to thank Christy's parents for having us here at this beautiful wedding. It's absolutely amazing. Today's been great. Additionally, I want to thank each and every single one of you for showing up today to celebrate two of my favorites, an open bar and a free dinner. No, seriously, it warms my heart to see all of you here to celebrate my two favorites, Chris and Christy. Chris, it's easy to see why you're enamored with Christy. You found yourself an amazing, stunning, smart, beautiful, and hilarious woman. And Christy, well, you found Chris. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jason, or as Chris affectionately calls me, roommate. I had the pleasure of playing lacrosse and living with Chris in college for a couple of years, and today I have the honor of standing next to him as his best man. They say when you live with someone, you get to know them on a deeper level than most. If knowing Chris on a deeper level means seeing him walk around in Swedish flag boxer briefs every day, then yeah, I know him quite well. If someone was to ask me to describe roommate in one word, I'd have to say inspiring. He's the nicest and hardest working person I know. Whether it was in school, on a lacrosse field, spending his free time to study his butt off, or even getting a job to pay for his absurd Ford pickup truck in college, he would do it. Now as an adult, he's gotten a little bit smarter, got rid of that truck, but keeps the same great work ethic, giving every single thing he does 110%. Which is why more often than not, he leaves before work, before the sun rises, and doesn't get home until the sun sets. Additionally to playing lacrosse in college, Chris is also a brother in the Chi Phi fraternity. Additionally to that, he did a brief stint as a bouncer. As I'm sure many of his fraternity brothers and friends can attest to, he was the best bouncer in Tallahassee. The reason why? We're not sure if you can tell the difference between a real or a fake ID, but that didn't stop him from letting each and every one of us into the bar. From hanging out on the couch after lacrosse practices or playing countless hours of NHL on the weekend, or going to bars and tailgates or downtown get-downs where we thought we were cool smoking cigars. We would do it all. To now when they visited me in New York a couple years ago, and now that I'm in Florida visiting each other all the time. It's great. He was a great roommate. On top of it, he's an even better friend. The story of how Chris and Christy met is quite a funny one, but I'll leave it at it was love at first sight, and they haven't turned back since. It's been clear to them and to everyone else around them. That's why when Chris did a semester abroad in Brazil, and then he moved back and lived on the opposite coast, there was nothing that could separate them. Their love was too strong. The first time I met Christy was at an FSU tailgate, so not much was remembered. But the second time I met her, I could really tell why Chris had not stopped talking about this girl for the past few weeks. The way she made him laugh and smile, it was unbelievable. The way they looked at each other was all smiled and doe-eyed, just like today on the altar. I can definitely say Christy's the best girl in the world, and in my wildest dreams, I could not have made a more perfect woman for you, Chris. She's great. Christy has the biggest heart and is always happy to talk and turn your troubles upside down, as long as she has a glass of scotch in her hand. While Chris would spend most nights studying his butt off, Christy and I would get to hang out on the couch, watching countless hours of Netflix. We're just talking about her day. Christy, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but when we first exchanged numbers, I knew you guys were so great for each other, I put you in my phone as Christy Miss Verbal. Today I'm glad to say I can officially change it to Christy Mrs. Verbal. I'm so excited for everything that life has in store for you, and for you both to continue to wake up every day thinking, what did I do to deserve such a perfect partner? I can't wait to see your family grow, but for now, let's keep Bindy's pitter-patter the only thing on the house. Chris, as for the honeymoon, you have to promise me, you will not take her jet skiing. Or if you do, get her a helmet this time. I'm sure she'll remember who you are, but she might be surprised to see your wedding ring on her finger. Roommate, I've told you this multiple times today, but I'll tell you again, I'm so proud of you. You found yourself the most amazing woman in the world. And Christy, even though we love to pick on him, you found yourself the greatest guy. I wish you guys nothing but the best, and for a lifetime full of laughter and happiness, and for your love to grow stronger each and every single day. Will everyone please join me in a toast to the lovely newlyweds, Chris and Christy Bennett.
All right, let's start this party.